You've all heard the news. Climate change is destroying your future. Carbon dioxide is accumulating in the atmosphere. Global warming is killing the Great Barrier Reef. But there's more to this story. Over the last decade, total global emissions declined. Deaths from natural disasters have diminished to a few hundred a year in the United States, even as the global population quadrupled over the last century. They've declined internationally by over 90%. The Great Barrier Reef recorded the highest amount of coral in 36 years, and maybe longer, because that's the amount of time that we've been studying and measuring. How come nobody is saying that?
Okay, folks, this one made me chuckle because, every summer the NOAA comes around, of course, paid by entities like and pushed by entities like John Kerry and the WEF to ramp up the climate change alarmism. Okay, now climate change, yeah, it does occur, but climate change alarmism, now that's the new religion that we've got. And The Hill, of course, which is cheesy, is pushing an interesting thing. I would say almost master of the obvious level. So, shocker from The Hill, NOAA predicts summer will be hot. Oh my gosh, unbelievable. So here it is. The Hill says new predictions for the summer season, released by NOAA's Climate Prediction Center this week, show that weather is likely to heat up in almost every corner of the United States. That sounds like summer. That sounds like summer. It's kind of weird, but yeah, the comments are great here. Remember, you're dealing with the cult of climate change, and this religion centers around one thing and one thing only: to garner as much transfer of wealth as possible worldwide. Hopefully, to be able to make central digital bank currency a thing, so that when down the road, these entities, these powers that be, can simply just go, we're going to tax you for climate change. We're going to tax you with a carbon tax. You're going to have no choice in it. We'll just take it out of your currency. We'll take this out of your bank accounts for you, okay? That's why digital IDs are so popular with Bill Gates. That way, there is taxation without representation. They can just do that. So, yeah. So as here's some of the comments here, and stay calm, everybody. Chill out, because Scotch Pilot says heat up in summer. Got it. Great update. Shocking, huh? The heat is going to go up. Yeah, it's going to go up this summer, folks. Just beware. They call it summer, but I don't know. It sounds like a case of climate change. I think the icebergs are all going to melt this summer, as they do every summer, and the oceans are going to rise. Some islands will be inundated. So anyway, let's continue. Stellar job by The Hill's tweet writers on this one. While the post reads simply as NOAA predicts it's going to get hot this summer, the actual prediction from the NOAA is an abnormally hot summer. But summer is hot. The Hill says it's going to get warmer when summer arrives. Breaking news. At least it's a bit more newsworthy, but what exactly is Earth's normal temperature? We doubt anyone can give us a straight answer on this, but it's definitely not a degree or two more than the current temperature, so we're told. Yeah, there's a lot of fuzzy stuff going on, some fuzzy science. And when I see fuzzy science, I think somebody's making bank off this. So, of course, it seems like everybody on Twitter and X, whatever it's called now, everybody's getting ready for this big emergency, right? That the season of summer will most likely be hot in every corner. So, yeah, it says here, we're pretty sure we remember summer when we were kids. It was hot then too, but we didn't have air conditioning everywhere. So maybe we just didn't notice that the world is about to end due to catastrophic heat these days because we're too comfortable. We doubt it. And here's the thing about climate change, too, is it's now really coming to a point where a lot less people are believing this whole hoax, the whole climate change alarmism hoax. Okay, as I said, climate change, yes, it happens. Are we all going to die? No. Are more people going to die from climate change policy? Not the weather, but policy? Probably. That's the real source of the problem. Not the earth, not climate change. It's politicians. It's the elites in power, Klaus Schwab, John Kerry, Al Gore. These people have made a lot of money on this secular new age alarmism. Okay, the world is falling, the sky is falling, the Chicken Little thing. Yeah, so that's really what's going on, and the policies are going to reduce population much more than climate change ever will. So, Border Dog says, that's why they call it summer. It gets hot every year. Then once summer is over, you have fall and the weather cools until you get what's called winter, where it gets really cold and may even snow or rain. See, I can make predictions too. This is as good a prediction as like Chloe. Remember Chloe? She had that Jamaican voice back in I think the early 90s. She claimed to be a psychic, and she was really funny, but I'm like, don't fall for this. And she would do that. She would tell you predictions about your future that were incredibly general and obtuse. They would be like, there is someone special in your future. That's what they would say. Or you will find fortune in the next 20 years of your life sometime. You know, very ambiguous, like a prediction you can make with almost anybody. So that's what we're at here. We're with Chloe. These are Chloe type predictions. It's an interesting theory, but we'll have to keep an eye on it and let you know how it works out with this whole summer thing, this anomaly. It happens every summer. The weather heats up. I think that's why they call it summer. If we melt enough Olafs, the snowman, I think, from Frozen, can we bring the average temperature down? Or are we all going to die? Yes, an emergency. Remember, when government, media, when they tell you about emergencies, they have something to gain when they're constantly laundering emergencies. Yeah, they have something to gain for themselves. So anyway, Buck Sterling says, likely a paid-for product placement for the climate cult racketeering campaign. History will prove this to dwarf any atrocity committed under Operation COVID. That's exactly right. Heard a guy predict it's gonna get so severe that by November, the leaves on all deciduous trees will completely, you heard that right, change color and suddenly die. Nothing to play around with, folks. You know, when I was a kid, this never happened. Clearly, CO2 did this. Breaking weather. It's called summer, guys. Summer will be hot. Shocker. Glad we have these journalists to tell us these things. This is hilarious. Are we all going to die? Wow, summer and heat. Who'd have thought? Funny picture. Prediction, sometime around November, the weather is likely to cool down in almost every corner of the United States. Oh my gosh. Yep, it's true, folks. It's amazing. Climate scam. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. That's why they call it summer. Yeah, good. I'm tired of winter. Winter colors are bland. Summer is filled with bright colors, baby ducks and rabbits, picnics, and fun things to do. Here's a good way to test this. If you think this sounds bad, go out and watch the animals. Watch the newborn little babies out in the wilderness. Go watch what rabbits do. Go watch the birds. They seem pretty happy in summertime. They seem pretty happy. I would go off that more than I would anything from this paid advertisement. Yeah, and so the Hill got the memo, and the memo is like, okay, you're the media and you work for the CIA, so we need you to ramp up the climate change alarmism. We need you to constantly be laundering anxiety. Okay, it's the industrial anxiety complex, folks. It's a thing with the government. and the media. So heat up in summer, got a great update. The Hill has become a left-wing political outlet in an attempt to gain attention and clicks. Yes, they have. Ever since, gosh, there was one decent person there at one time. I forget what his name was, but yeah, it's a dump. It's a dumpster fire. In summer, you got to be kidding me. Wait, you're telling me that it's going to be hot in the summer? It was never like this when I was a kid. I remember having to wear a coat and mittens in July and August. Me too. It was brutal. It's just brutal. So anyway, I thought you might like that, folks. Another great headline from our trusted media at The Hill. Yeah, the cabal of media. There to, again, launder the industrial anxiety complex that is so prevalent nowadays. So anyway, if you go outside and all of a sudden you're like, man, it's kind of warm. Okay, you're going to be like, see, climate change. The oceans are going to rise tomorrow, I promise you, and we will all be engulfed. Greta Thunberg has moved on. Yep, even her. She's still whacked, but she's moved on to pro-Palestine now. She doesn't give a shit about the environment or the climate. So even she has moved on. So the great high priestess of dysfunction has moved on. So anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and I will talk to you later. Bye.